Welcome geniuses, I'm Genie, your best buddy for A-levels. In this channel, we'll bring you to explore the secret formula behind success.
So let's talk about the formations of atmospheric sulfur dioxide. Here it says that burning coal and oil atmosphere. Can you remember what is coal? Coal means charcoal or carbon. What is oil means hydrocarbon. Did you see any sulfur in this? This is hydrocarbon, this is CXHY. Did you see any sulfur? Because that sulfur dioxide comes from combustions of sulfur plus O2 forming SO2. So sulfur here. Can't see, right? Because sulfur is the contaminants in coal and oil. Meaning the impurity in the coal and oil. So therefore, when you use carbon or hydrocarbon, the sulfur is trapped in the hydrocarbon or the carbon as impurity will oxidize by the oxygens that you use to burn it to form sulfur dioxide. And this sulfur dioxide becomes the pollutant. We can also get this pollutant from the release of SO2 from the air. Where is it from? From the white oil in the extractions of metal. So when you read these two contexts, you will be able to find out O2 pollutants. Okay, so the charcoal, burning oil, roasting of metal is number 3. It's a pass your questions. All right. Very important. They used to test a lot in P1. Okay, here becomes in P2. So the uses of sulfur dioxide is it used as a preservative in food. It is the growth of the mold, the yeast, and the aerobic bacteria. Why is that so? Because they are actually reducing agent. They can retard oxidation of food stuff. Okay, you see, when your thing spoiled or when your rice is spoiled, it turns to sour. Why is it sour? Because you have acid in the rice, it becomes sour. So what causes it to happen? Because in the rice we have glucose has a lot of alcohol. So when alcohol turning to acid, it is. If you want to prevent this happen, you can actually add a reducer, stop the oxidation. So therefore, it can reduce oxidation of the food stuff. So it prevents the things go spoil. Okay, it can also stop the mold, the yeast, and also the aerobic bacteria. All right, so you can see in the things like this. Okay, the more expensive things. Okay, they use SO2. So is SO2 harmful to body in small? Let's look at acid rain. So sulfur and the oxide of nitrogen contribute to acid. The reactions that lead to the formations of acid rain involve the following things. So first of all, sulfur dioxide gas, it will react with nitrogen dioxide gas to form sulfur trioxide gas and also NO gas. The sulfur trioxide gas will react with water to form sulfuric acid, which is H2S aqueous. The NO, the step 1, will react with atmospheric oxygen to produce NO2 gas. Okay, you take down this thing because I'll explain. Okay, so now you need to study the role of the NO2 in the acid rain. It acts as a homogeneous catalyst. What is the meaning of homogeneous catalyst? That is when the catalyst, the reactant, in the same physical state. So we call it as homogeneous. And how does the homogeneous catalyst work? It works by changing oxidation number. How? This oxidation number changes from +4 turning to +2, +2 turning to +4. So you can see eventually NO2 will reform back. So over here we say that the catalyst regenerated. So it says that the NO can then with more SO2 to repeat step 1, which is here. Or NO would dissolve in oxygens in water to form nitric acid, which means the same equations happen again. Your favorite equation here. The one that formed nitric acid. Okay, so now then you ask, the entire context is talking. So what is the acid in the acid rain? Acid that is in acid in the acid rain. Right? Now we take a look at the effect of the acid rain. Limestones, again, yesterday we have talked about it. Calcium carbonate is a limestone. You'll get calcium sulfate plus H2O plus CO2. So it corrodes the carbonate, become sulfate. Okay. The next will be corrosions of steel. So steel, let's say we have a Fe. You will get FeSO4 plus H. We'll have acidifications of fresh water, affects aquatic system. We'll have acidifications of agricultural land. So is, okay, this is important. What is source of acid the agricultural land? Pass here. The first one, of course, we can say it is from the fertilizer. Why fertilizer? Because fertilizer means you have ammonium ion. Ammonium ion is acidic. Okay, this thing itself is acidic. So the first thing that contribute to the acid in agricultural land. We will have the next, the acid rain. From the acid rain, like H2SO4 or NO3 that we've learned just now. We can also get it from the CO2. Why CO2? Because it is the acid in the air. The air is trapped in the soil, so we can see CO2 is there. Are the three sources of acid. So how do you solve this acid of the agricultural land? We can spread lime. Okay. Solution is to spread lime, but we can't spread like one go. Okay, there's two types of lime. Okay, one is we have to observe the environment of the agricultural land. Look at the back. If it is in a dry area, another area is a area. Okay, so if it's dry area, we will have to put the lime in the liquid form. For example, calcium hydroxide. Okay, like lime, or this is known as lime water. But if it is in a higher rainfall area, we cannot place the aqueous state anymore or liquid state. Why? Because it can easily gone, right? So we have to put the solid so that it can slowly. So we can either spread calcium oxide, which is the lime, or call it lime, or we put limestone over there. This is as well. Okay. Now we talk about how to prevent acid rain. First method is to burn less sulfur containing fuel or treat the exhaust gas that contain SO2 from the industry and limestone, calcium oxide from decomposing C carbonate. Okay, so I'll explain by using a diagram. Let's say this is the factory, okay, that produce a lot of SO2. Now that this SO2 is a pollutant, it cannot just through the environment. Okay, so we have to put in the chimney. So what should be in the filter? We have to put calcium carbonate inside. Calcium carbonate in the filter will first be heated to form calcium oxide, which is a solid. This is a solid, yeah, and you'll get CO2 gas. And SO2 is an acid. So then both can react together. When the SO2 reaches the that is having calcium oxide over there, they both will react. Calcium oxide will first react with SO2 gas to form a calcium carbonate, calcium sulfate. Sulfite, not sulfate, okay? Calcium sulfite is a solid. Or alternatively, you have this calcium oxide react with SO2 sulfate solid. So what is so important about the solid is that both of the solid will be trapped by the filter so that they will not escape to the environment. Okay? So that's all for this chapter. We have finished all the chapters of the inorganic chemistry.
That's all for today's video. If you're interested in more genuine sharing by other geniuses, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell, ding dong. Also, if you're struggling with one or two past year questions and the mark scheme just doesn't seem to help, Genie has got you covered. Feel free to let us know what question it is by filling in the Google form linked in the description below. GenieUs Hub will get genius teachers to fulfill your request for the solution. Genie will see you next time. Bye-bye.